put forward to her. Instead, without his consultation, another violation of the rules, she put on Liz Cheney and Adam Kinzinger, who I argue in the civil suit obviously have score settling and access to grind. These are ultra vires, unenforceable, unlawful subpoenas, and that committee should never have been formed. I blame, as much as I blame Pelosi and Schiff and Raskin, I also blame Kevin McCarthy. He knew right at the outset that they were breaking the rules, and he didn't stand up right then. And shame on Kevin McCarthy. Now he's got his own subpoena. It'd be interesting to see whether they hold him in contempt, whether he winds up over here. I doubt it. What is this? Okay.
Something
yes, ma'am.
Practice. That's what it is.
Say again?
Do you expect your arraignment to be delayed past?
Yeah, that's going to be a legal question. If you were sitting there, you understood my arguments. I do believe, as I stated in the courtroom, that this was a preemptive strike by the Department of Justice to prevent my civil suit from going forward. And shame on them. And the evidence of that is simply, I filed that civil suit on Tuesday. I sent them communication on Wednesday trying to offer some kind of modus vivendi, and instead of responding to that, instead of having the FBI agent call cordially and ask me to come down and go through this, whatever it is, they didn't do that. They just put the hammer down, and no American citizen should have to go through what I went through today, who is trying to do the right thing. I'm trying to do my duty to this country. I'm in an untenable position. The Constitution is on my side on this, and I'm just trying to hold that ground. And I'm up against partisans who want to weaponize Congress and abuse the tools of the federal government. Who else? Anybody else?
When they came to your house on Wednesday, the FBI, what was that? What was that?
It wasn't Wednesday. That was last week. They were delivering a subpoena to have me. It's a very interesting subpoena because they were commanding me to submit documents to the grand jury, grand jury 22-3 to be exact. And they weren't compelling my testimony. They weren't commanding me to come and testify. They were simply commanding me to deliver documents. And the untenable constitutional position we have here, and there's a whole lot of other issues with those subpoenas, is I have testimonial immunity, and the president, there's Trump executive privilege. It's a very interesting legal case. And look, my mission here is to get this to the Supreme Court so that they can resolve the key issues here. I think the biggest issue is whether an incumbent president can strip a predecessor of executive privilege. I mean, look, please understand this. If that happens, if the courts allow that to stand, the Justice Department gets away with that, that'll essentially kill the institution of executive privilege as we know it. And it exists dating back to the days of George Washington for a very, very, very good reason, which is to allow candor from people like me sitting in places like the Oval Office so that a president can make effective and informed and optimal decision making. Anyway, I'm going to take one last question. Hang on. Do me a favor, okay? It's been a long day. I'm going to take one last question. Do me the courtesy when I leave here, because I've been generous with my time and I've got nothing more to say. Just let me walk out of here and behave in a civil manner. So I'll take one last question.
Mr. Navarro.
Yeah, go ahead.
You're an economist. Is it wise to be representing yourself?
Have you read my case?
I have.
So what did I say in my case about that?
I'm curious to hear it from you.
What did I say in my case about that? This is what we do in professional life. You said you read my case. You asked me a question. What did I say about me representing myself?
And I'm not here to repeat that. What was basically.
Okay. Any other questions?
Mr. Navarro,
One more.
were you denied a phone call?
Do you think it's a good idea?
I'm representing myself pro se because I do not want to be dragged down into the muck of spending hundreds of thousands of dollars of my retirement savings on this kind of venture. I'm going to evaluate my legal strategy in light of what has happened with this, and there'll be more to follow. But if you would, please, don't scream at me when I stop. Don't follow me. Just let me walk home, and I would much appreciate that. It's been a long day. I've been generous with my time. God bless America. Thank you.